How do you identify yourself? How do others identify you? Perception. It's a tricky thing. Every day we pass strangers, and those interactions are boiled down to the simplest terms. For example, you see a stranger, you don't know them, but the details you'll remember are very basic. Gender, hair color, eye color, clothing, age, and race. We take in information so quickly it forces us to categorize people at a glance, and that glance can often be wrong. My brother often gets mistaken for being Mexican because my family is half Greek, and my boyfriend often gets that he only looks white despite the fact that he is half Mexican. I myself never gave race a thought when I met him because I also naively assumed that he was simply white. This situation can be called white passing. Racial passing occurs when a person classified as a member of one racial group is also accepted as a member of a different racial group. The term was used especially in the United States to describe a person of color or multiracial ancestry assimilating into the white majority during times when legal or social conventions classified the person as a minority, subject to racial segregation and discrimination. Today, this passing is more about disconnecting a person from their racial identity. For example, with some mixed-race children, one of their parents' traits end up showing more predominantly, so people erase their other racial identities. When I was in elementary school, our neighbors had 4 children, all a few years apart. Their mom would pick them up from school in her minivan every day, and one day another parent approached her to ask if she had any more room in her nanny service, at which point she explained that the children were actually her own. My neighbor has blonde hair, blue eyes, and very pale skin. However, her children all took after their father, who was Mexican, and all had dark hair, brown eyes, and tan skin. And this is the trickiest part of passing as one race more than another, because it often has outsiders disconnecting the relationship between the child and the parent whose race they do not pass for.
Alright, let's see. So when I was about, I can't even remember now, 12, 13 or something, there was one day my brother kind of got his license and we were all driving back. It was me, my brother, my aunt and my uncle who are around our age. We got pulled over because my brother was going about 8 over. And then they were checking Rebidis ID. I didn't have one at the time because I was just too young. And then the cop asked me if I was actually kidnapped. And he thought, because he was like, well, you don't look like you fit in here. Are you okay? Do we need to get anybody else for you? So that was a very, very weird situation for me to be put in. But then on the other side of the whole kind of issue, you get a lot of people in like the Hispanic community who will talk a lot of crap about white people, and they don't think that they can actually listen to it. There was also one person in our family who said that they don't like white Mexicans, and they are also Mexican because they say it's too confusing. So on both sides, there are benefits and negatives to being kind of white passing.
Despite what some may believe, racism is still alive and well, and it takes many forms. While my boyfriend acknowledges that he benefits from some aspects of white privilege due to his passing, that does not stop him from experiencing racism due to his racial identity. As well as some may see the potential of benefiting from white privilege to be an advantage, it can be just as debilitating.